Hey guys, well this is a new experience for me, shooting an AR with a laser. This particular laser device is by Burris. It is a D-ball or dual beam aiming laser. It has a visible red laser and a invisible to naked eye infrared laser. I think Burris is probably out of that line of business now, but Steiner makes a unit very similar to this, and of course they are known for manufacturing quality products, so it should be as good or maybe even better. All right, let's see what we did. These are actually pretty good groups. Remember, there were 4 shots on each target, and then I did an alternating thing on them. And you can see both groups are pretty good to be shooting as fast as I was shooting. If you look at the background in the picture, you'll see there's quite a bit of light, and the sun has gone down, but not by much. It's just down beyond the horizon. In this view, you can actually see a hint of the laser beam with each shot fired because the gases discharge, and I suspect mostly the smoke that comes from the muzzle, allows the laser beam to become visible to the eye. It has to have something to reflect off of, so the smoke provides that medium for it to reflect off of, and we can see it. Well, let's take a look at the results, and here's the shots on the Coyote. That's a pretty good group for 100 yards, and I was shooting pretty fast, so I'm pleased with that. We look at the other target. It's an excellent group as well to be shooting that fast, so I'm very pleased with the results of this. I thought I'd give you some of the details about how I set this up. There may be other ways, and that's fine. I first zeroed my scope, and let me emphasize again, the reason I use a scope is because the laser doesn't make your vision any better. So if you've got a target at 100 yards, your eyes see at 100 yards what your eyes see, and by using the scope you can see the target magnified by the power of the scope, and you can also see where the laser dot is more accurately on the target. So after zeroing my scope, it becomes a simple matter of adjusting the laser horizontal and vertically until it coincides with the intersection of the crosshairs on the scope. There's one more thing I do to help me see the laser a little clearer and a little quicker. I discovered that if the laser is zeroed right to the intersection of the crosshairs block out a lot of the laser dot, and it's hard to see, especially quickly. So what I did is I moved the horizontal reticle down about 2 milliradians. This is a milliradian scope, so, and anyway, that got it out of the way, and I could see the dot much quicker with the horizontal reticle moved out of the way. And you could do the same with a vertical reticle, although I didn't, and I don't know that it's necessary. Okay, there's one more thing we need to consider about this. Lasers like this that have an offset from the center line of the bore introduce a horizontal parallax issue. This laser offsets from the center line a horizontal distance from center line of the bore to center line of the laser of about 3/4 of an inch. Now, what that means is if we zero the laser at 50 yards and then we sight on a point at 100 yards, we're going to be about 3/4 of an inch to the right. not dead on like we were at 50, but about 3/4 of an inch to the right, and that's due to the horizontal offset of the sight. If we sight the laser in at 100 yards, and then we sight on a target at 50 yards, we're only going to be 3/8 of an inch to the left of where the laser points to. So that's a concern that needs to be accounted for. Another option would be to just sight the laser in parallel to the bore, which means it's off by 3/4 of an inch at 50 and it's off by 3/4 of an inch at 100. And that's kind of up to the individual if that's the way you want to do it. I like to zero mine at 100 and tolerate the 3/8 of an inch at 50. It's a little easier to estimate.